Okay, Sport Addicts, today I'm gonna take part in the French 10K Road Championship, a race for which my goal will be to reach a good place. And given that the pace is quite fast, why not target a good time? Anyway, we'll see, because I'll take you with me on this race to tell you more about it. Will you follow me?
Baptiste Cartieaux vous a mis dans le cadre.
Rigottier qui prend la deuxième place de cette série 2. Baptiste Cartieaux, 4ème des championnats d'Europe junior sur 3000 mètres au steeple l'été dernier.
And here we are, after a 2-hour drive to Boulogne-sur-Mer to complete 10 kilometers on the banks of the Liane. And yes, here we are on the race site with an ideal temperature of 7 degrees, but a light wind of 13 kilometers per hour, which spoils the condition of the race a little. But anyway, now that we are here, let's run. But before that, it is important to look at the course of this French Championship 2022, a course composed of a 5-kilometer loop that we will do twice. Okay, the arrival and departure lines have well been located. Now, it is time to go to collect our race bibs. Once the number is found, it's time to get the corresponding race bibs and a second one that will be positioned in my back and which will indicate that I am a junior, because at the start there will be no less than 13 different categories. These race bibs will allow us to differentiate ourselves during the race, because podium will be made by categories and not by scratch results. Come on, back to the minibus. The opportunity to see the opponents for this edition of the French Championships. And we see some big guns like Sven Durand and Joan Martineau. The latter has already done 25 minutes and 45 seconds on the distance, so he is a great adversary. But we'll see what happened today. It's time for me to pin my number on the club's jersey. Once this is done, I'm off to fight the enemy. Well, no more jokes now, we have to warm up because the race time is approaching. Indeed, we are less than an hour from the start. We take advantage of this warm-up to discover the Liane that we will follow all along the race, if not cross it, but also and especially to go see the only bump of the circuit that we are going to account twice. This one is located 1.5 kilometers from the end. At least, we will be able to spot it if the geese let us go through. It is a little bump, but I think it can change the deal, especially because of where it is located. Many attacks may start there. And yes, we will indeed need to be brave for this race, which is going to be long and tiring. The mental aspect will take over when the leg will refuse to go on. This is all the difficulty of a 10K race, knowing how to constantly push the limits. My previous record is 31 minutes and 3 seconds on this distance, and I think I will do a very big update today if I manage to stay focused. In the meantime, I'll be doing the usual exercises like knee, heel raises and strength legs. Come on, now we need to put on the race outfit, he already prepared, and of course I mean the Maxence Rigottier shirt for the bottom and the club jersey for the top.
C'est pas ouf de courir avec le barreau aussi.
Now it's time to put on the running shoes, which today I will be the Meta Speed Sky from Addicts. Okay, time for a little water and it's off.
Bon, aujourd'hui donc 2 km et demi avec le vent, 2 km et demi contre le vent. La grande chance c'est qu'il fait très très beau. Je pense que ça va être une belle course. Notre ami Ciblot, il n'est pas complètement prêt pour ce genre de course, puisqu'on est en pleine période de préparation. Une bonne préparation pour s'amuser, pour essayer de faire un temps, pour voir où il en est, pour s'étalonner avec d'autres juniors.
Exactement, au programme une course, puisque nous aurons les masters, nous aurons les juniors dans cette course.
And yes, as we can see, Today, the starting line is crowded. We are 621 athletes, and you can imagine that to fit 621 athletes on 50-meter line is not obvious. We need to avoid shoving as much as possible, even we are prepared for some. The federation has set up 3 groups of different levels. For my part, having a time of 31 minutes and 3 seconds, I have the privilege to be in the first group, and so I'm allowed to position myself on the first line. All the groups are gathering, which forms a big pack that is now under the orders of the starter.
Vous allez voir ce kilomètre impressionnant. Allez, voilà, c'est parti.
Ouais, c'est parti, Patrick est pas bien, c'est parti tout de suite.
We set off for the French 10K World Championship. Now we have to be vigilant to put ourselves directly in the race, to avoid faults, which can happen very quickly, and to set a rhythm. For my part, I had chosen my rhythm well before the start. I decided, as you could see in the title, to try to be under the 30 minutes time cap. A symbolic time indeed, if not the most symbolic. In fact, those who managed to reach it are there for around 29 minutes for 10 kilometers, and clearly it's another world. I would like to be part of this close group. Anyway, we will see at the end of this race if I succeed. But for the moment, after passing for the first time in the arrival arch that we will pass 3 times, we realize that is not such a good start, because as I told myself to take it easy, not to get carried away before the first 5 kilometers, I am flashed at the first kilometers at 3 minutes and 7 seconds, which means already 7 seconds late on my targeted pace. And yet, I'm among the 30 runners at the head of the race. But then I understand what's going on. It's simply because of the wind on the other side. No one is really up to lead the tempo, and therefore takes this wind in the face. But finally, after 1 kilometer of observation, the rhythm is finally here, and it has come rather abruptly. In fact, Loïc Letellier decided to dictate the tempo up front, which directly put us back in the pace of less than 40 minutes for 10
Et ça va faire
kilometers.
7 minutes, on s'est débrouillé pour vous faire vivre, nous, au plus près en tant que bénévole des 10 km de Boulogne-sur-Mer, la course, les moyens du bord, voilà. En tout cas, merci de votre présence sur ce live.
Okay, cool. We are back on the right tempo. Sure, it would have been better to do it more progressively, because I must admit it has shaken us a little. But what's done is done, and we keep going. This speed does not suit everyone, however, and we notice that some are starting to break, and as a result, packs are forming. Not astonishing, considering the wind. It was much better to be well surrounded. As for me, I can say that in my park I was quite well surrounded. My legs did respond well, and from there I keep the rhythm. No reasons to accelerate. Now we have a difficulty to cross. After a passage at 3000 meters in 8 minutes 59 seconds, it is the first passage on the bump. A first passage which threatens to break the rhythm already, because going up, even if you'll obviously go down right after, is often a synonym of with slowing down. And it appears I was right, the consequences are immediate, because we arrived just after our passage over the Liane in the 4th kilometer, with a 5 seconds delay. Indeed, that bump caused everyone to lower the rhythm. A good rhythm anyway, that Loïc Letellier has holding on to, so he decided, just before crossing the starting line again, to start an attack.
Par devant, ça part devant!
Quite frank attack, I must say. Yeah, we were all a bit surprised, but one can understand that we doesn't want to do all the work for us, because from the beginning it's him who takes the lead against the wind, while we are all fine with staying behind him. Once again, I have the intention to stick to him and to go after him gently.
Allez, Mickaël!
Allez, Baptiste!
Effectivement, regardez, avec son dossard 550
after being cut off by Joad. Well, it was certainly not done on purpose, but the least we can say is that it did not help me. It is a fact of race. It happens. Then I passed the halfway point in 15 minutes and 5 seconds. Yes, Philippe whispered it in my ear. And finally, we passed a second time under the arch of arrival, which meant it was the last lap. Now only remains the second part of the race, the hardest part. But well, it's in this last 5 kilometers that one had to provide an effort to make a negative split, and why not get the sub 30 minutes? After having rushed, we are still behind L'Hôtelier, but we can see that many did not appreciate his attack. There are only 5 of us left in front now. 5 athletes and a passage to the 6th kilometer in 18 minutes and 7 seconds. Still slightly behind, but once again, I do not panic.
Donc voici les 5 hommes de tête des 10 km de Boulogne. Alors on a un Master 2, un Master 1 et 3 juniors.
Yes, still 3 juniors, and at this moment I suspect that we have the 3 juniors of the podium, judging by my experience. But then, in which order? We will have to wait and see. At first glance, Sven seems to have legs of fire, because he takes a strong relay. And yes, he doesn't just put himself in the lead, he accelerates, and he will repeat this several times. At this moment, I'm wondering if he's bluffing or if he's got balls of steel and he is doing this to wear us out. Anyway, on this instance, his attacks were rather painful for me, despite the fact that I was trying to regulate my rhythm as much as possible.
On a cette petite remontée qui fait mal. Ah là on a un peu de vent dans la remontée.
Ah, finally, we just had our answer. It seems that it was actually just bluff, because here Sven and Mehdi just fell off the wagon at the beginning of the second to last kilometer, leaving only the 3 of us at the head of this race. It's stunning, but the question that everyone is asking is who will be left at the end? Finally, Joad is the first to accelerate, and I don't hesitate a second, I jump directly into the stride and we go down the small hill together at full speed, leaving Loïc L'Hôtelier behind.
C'est parti, ça accélère. Ça va très vite.
Now that we passed from 20 km per hour to 21 km per hour, it was immediately less easy for me. Joad is holding in spite of the wind, while I keep up behind and try as much as I can to protect myself from the wind. Come on, last kilometer, we pass in 27 minutes after a 9th kilometer in 2 minutes and 54 seconds, and then, you know what? We already see the finish line. Yes, we see it in the distance. It's waiting for us. But God, this last train line is long. Seriously, it's really hard. Passing under the starting arch, we have only 300 meters left, and then in the slight uphill, I break down. My legs don't respond anymore, I can't lift my knee, and my dream of becoming French champion of the 10 kilometer is getting away. Yet, I refuse to give up. I continue, I go on with whatever remaining strengths I have, because the sub 30 minutes is waiting reach.
30 minutes devant celui qui prend la deuxième place, c'est Baptiste Cartieaux, et Loïc L'Hôtelier, troisième.
Well, I finally finished second and a little bit sad because I'm only 2 seconds shy from the sub 13 minutes, but that's how it is. I lost and I learned. Well, I don't know if I would have been able to beat Joad today, but I'm sure that I could have been under 30 minutes in the faster race because I was too good at the 8 kilometer. But I have to do that again. However, it's still a title of Vice Champion of France, the second national podium of the season. Bronze medal, silver medal, maybe the next one will be gold, who knows? Anyway, we will see that during my next French Championship, the French Championship of track, cadet junior on steeplechase.
Champion de France, 30 minutes et 1 seconde de l'EA Cergy Pontoise athlétisme, Baptiste Cartieaux.
Here we are, I hope you like this. We'll meet again very soon from the track season. Do not hesitate to subscribe to the channel and like the video. And now it's time for me to say goodbye. See ya!